What's up, y'all? I did not schedule this or anything. I hope I people can hear me. I am not going to be long-winded, but I have to complete a playlist that I started for the future. You see the title. I just wanted to go through the recall real quick because it's a little quieter now. And I wanted to kind of make sure that this was over here in the It Southland playlist for the future. So, without further ado, the topic here that we're going to talk about is the recall and what it really like means. Was it really just this weird random thing that didn't go through because of some technicality? Perhaps. However, when we were told that you can reference this in case law, you really can. So let's see. The first time that Tiffany Henyard went to court was as a trustee with Stan Brown and Robert Hunt, right? Okay, so that was January 11th, 2016. And I have all this stuff in the description if you want to go look at it yourself. But there was an appeal by the three trustees, Tiffany, Stan, and Robert. They challenged the validity of a dog ordinance that unilaterally created a local recall mechanism. Remember Riley Rogers? He tried to recall them with whoever was on the board then. Now, what happened was the ordinance was invalid because Dolton, as a non-home rule municipality, could alter its governmental structure only through a voter-approved referendum. If you don't know what I'm saying, you can add the recall only when you do the voter referendum. And because there was no referendum that had been held, the trustees were entitled to that injunctive relief. Now, that's where they're saying that, oh, it was a test. Well, I don't even think they're even talking about that. But the reason this is important because this was the first time. Greetings, Curtis. How are you today? I just wanted to go through this recall real quick because it's one of the things that we haven't talked about. So when they first tried to recall Tiffany, Stan, and Robert with the trustees, who were trustees at the time, they could not. So um, they had to first do the groundwork and the framework for um, any later recall attempts, which there obviously would be. So that's the first time Tiffany won, along with Stan Brown and Robert Hunt, when they were trustees. So if we're not connecting the DOTTSs right now, you can see that, Robert Hunt, he didn't get reelected, but Stan Brown is still there. They try to make him go away with the rest of them. So let's get to the main one because I am not going to be long winded. But let's go to the main one. That was Henyard versus the municipal officers of Dolton. That was September 30th, 2022. Now, that was Mayor Tiffany Henyard at the time versus the village trustees and the clerk. They were the defendants. What did they do? In the spring of 2022, the board, Jason and them, Clean House and them, 2022, they placed two referendum questions on the June 28th primary ballot. The first one was to establish a recall mechanism for Dalton officials, and then B, immediately recall Mayor Henyard. Duh! Oh my goodness! If people didn't see the attack coming in at that moment, I don't know what to tell you. But y'all didn't, so that's why this is for the future. Now, Both ballot questions were invalid and the election results could not be certified. In other words, the trustees couldn't bootstrap a recall of Tiffany at the same election in which they were trying to do the recall mechanism in itself. Duh. I think any practicing lawyer would know this. However, um, the opinion repeatedly relied on the amplified 2026 Henyard precedent, yes, I said precedent, concluding that Dalton still lacked lawful authority to recall village officials. Now, all the news coverage in late, 2023, it really shows that it halted the recall, but it doesn't really explain why. Now, this is what, and I think I done did this in under 10 minutes. This is the takeaways that I want the future to know why these recalls were so important and why and how they definitely affect the future of the Southland. Now, not a lot of people understand municipalities and townships and stuff. So I'm just going to say, like, municipalities such as Dalton, right? They have to have voter approval by a properly framed referendum before recall, before any recall. Now, after that is adopted, then a future election is required to apply that to a specific office holder. I got quiet because combining the two it violates Illinois law. So while everybody was like, "Oh, that was just a no," it wasn't just a anything. Bert Olson and them literally violated, along with Clean House 2025, violated Illinois law. Now, those two appellate decisions, the one in 2026 and 2022, they're now the controlling authority on municipal recall in Cook County, South Suburban villages now. So yeah, when Tiffany has said that it's case law because this was the first and this guides all of the rest of the municipal recalls in Cook County, South Suburban villages forever, she kind of did set a precedent and a good one because had this been able to go through, there would be more than what's going on right now with Clean House 2025 and what's going on. Hey, Tiffany girl, I got your book. I got it. Oh, it made me cry. Now I'm mad. But that's all I needed to say because again, I choose not to fight with people that don't want to listen. However, I know the future definitely does depend. Oh, wait, wait. That's Ed Stings Mohammed. Let me. Mm, oh, still wrong. Still wrong. Still wrong. Hey, Elder Clayton, I wonder where you are. But that was pretty much all I had to say because this was for the future of like the township and everyone who will be coming afterwards. So until next time, sending love and light.